Sargent and Joe Donlin from CBS 2 Chicago.
You need to do better than that. Good morning.
We want to welcome you to the 21st Heroes Breakfast. It is so great to be here with you this morning. Joe and I, we are excited to meet the heroes this year, and as my co-anchor for the CBS 2 Evening News, emphasis on evening, I'm excited to join you here so very early in the morning. Are you ready to meet some inspiring heroes today?
So I'm thrilled to be here for the first time. What a great house, what a great morning. I'm looking forward to meeting all of these inspirational people and continue the tradition of honoring all these folks who decided really to do something much bigger than themselves and help their community. I can't wait to meet them all.
This is truly one of my favorite days of the year, honoring everyday people who gave of themselves for others, for those that they didn't even know. Get ready for another remarkable class of heroes. And Joe, did you know our youngest hero is only 6 years old?
Yes, I did. I can't wait to meet him. No. CBS 2 is a proud partner of the American Red Cross Heroes Breakfast. We're honored to present the 2023 class of heroes, and we're going to get underway right now, I believe, are we not?
Yes.
You're going to get number one on?
I'm ready.
Okay.
All right.
America's used to carrying me, so here we go.
Okay, so if you can feel the excitement in the room, we are proud to present the 2023 class of heroes.
There they are, right there. We have 12 incredible hero stories, and whether this is your first breakfast or your 21st, this is a day that's going to inspire you and fill you with hope and demonstrate all the humanitarianism that comes with the Red Cross.
We want to give a big thank you to everyone joining us this morning and to everyone who took time to nominate a hero. There are so many people doing extraordinary things, and we're honored to present their incredible stories that you'll see in videos today.
And we're going to encourage you as well to join the social party. I believe you have at least some of the tweets. Eric and I were frantically trying to post before we started here.
Yeah.
We invite you to join us on that front too.
Yeah, so we have posts up already. I also grabbed our youngest heroes.
Oh.
Yeah, the little ones, and took pictures. So they will be up there as well. We hope you'll share your stories, the hero stories, wherever you connect on social media, and share it with the experience hashtag Red Cross Heroes. You'll notice it up here on these cool social walls.
So if there's a particular story that touches your heart, let your friends know. Be sure to tag the Illinois Red Cross, that's Red Cross IL. And you can follow our media sponsor at Better Chicago as well, at Better Chicago, and tag us at CBS Chicago as well. The hashtag is Red Cross Heroes.
That's right. We also want to mention, and we brought this up in our news last night. You may have seen on the Blue Cross Blue Shield building that we're honoring our Red Cross heroes in an amazing, larger-than-life way. Tonight. All right, our first hero. This morning, it's a law student and community organizer who, despite a number of hardships and obstacles, prevailed, making his community better and so many people around him. As a powerful mentor today for many of Chicago's youth, our hero recognizes that providing opportunities for young people is the key to success. And through the interest of his mentors and supporters, he was able to venture away from a path of trouble, making his story possible.
At just 28 years old, our first hero has experienced a lot in his young life. He's taken these experiences to build a better community and create opportunities for others. So let's welcome Berto, or actually meet him first, Berto Aguayo, our social justice impact hero.
I'm also a law student at Northwestern. I got involved with gangs when I was a teenager. Being raised by a single mother who had to work to provide for us meant a lot of time being unsupervised, and that coupled with the lack of opportunities meant not a lot of productive things to do in my community. What it took for me to get out of the gang was really opportunities in my community. Working at an alderman's office in the north side of Chicago helped me see a bigger world. And I didn't even know neighborhoods like Lincoln Park existed. And to see that inequity really sparked something in me. Those experiences are what ultimately led for me to say enough. I want to not only change myself, but I also want to be part of the change in my community. The mission of Increase the Peace is to give young people the opportunities to be community leaders, to policy advocacy, community organizing, and being social agents of change. Increase the Peace has a variety of programs dedicated to youth that are between the ages of 14 to 24. A youth leadership program, a public health ambassadors program, and a legal aid clinic. We've been able to train hundreds of young people, give them paid opportunities to help them see the power within themselves, not only to change their lives, but also to change their communities. Every year now, we host the annual Black and Brown Unity Car Parade to bridge the divide between Black and Brown residents in the south side of Chicago. It's hard work, creating real, safe spaces to be able to have those conversations. Whenever I see our youth leaders step up to the plate and shine like the leaders that they are, it's validation that the work that we do helps everyday young people find that power within themselves. I would like the legacy of Increase the Peace and my legacy to be, we made our community a better place through the opportunities that transformed young people's lives.
Co-founded Increase the Peace are making a major difference for the community. The work you have done with youth and the Black and Brown Parade is legendary. Joe, I even understand President Obama is a fan of Bear Jokes.
Not surprised after seeing that video. It's inspirational. Our first inspirational and many more stories like it to come. I can't wait to meet Berto. In fact, let's bring him up along with Kimberly Good, Chief Communications and Social Impact Officer of BMO Financial Group, to present Berto with the Social Justice Impact Hero Award.
Thank you so much, everyone. I don't really know what to say, but I got my remarks right here, so that helps. I just want to thank all those who helped me be here today. The heroes in my life, my mom, the grocery store owner that gave me my first job, the high school principal who started me on this journey, and to all of the Increase the Peace staff and our team who are here today at table 64, Eliseta Reyes, Mayra Martinez, Monse Ayala, Andrea Zaragoza, y Jorge Agustin. Thank you all so much for all the work that you do every single day. You guys are my heroes. Thank you.
We are off to the races. Our next hero was a young high school-aged man when he graciously served our country in the Navy.
Yet life is often not simple. It presents hardships and difficulties, and for many years our hero navigated both PTSD and also homelessness.
His understanding of the devastating impact trauma can bring is what motivated our hero to be there for others and to make a real impact on the streets of Chicago.
Malcolm Bridgman is our military hero.
I served aboard the USS Cowinsky. I was stationed at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. And I ended up homeless for about maybe 10 years until I went to the VA and went through the homeless program. They gave me the skills to cope with situations. I'm applying all of that stuff into the work that I do. Out in Chicago, it's a nonprofit that serves homeless and low-income individuals. We provide services that other nonprofits don't serve by going out on the street and providing food, clothing, and toiletries. My motto is, you don't leave nobody behind. Regular homeless people, they count. They need to come home too.
I met Melvin at a volunteer event. Melvin could be anywhere in the world who's choosing to do this work. and it made you inspired to want to be able to do it with them?
I go out on the street and I find out where homeless individuals are at. Try to find out what they need. We have helped 16,000 people.
He's going to places and locations that as he experienced homelessness, he actually visited himself. You see a sense of joy and pride in people's faces to feel as if a member of our community is here to serve us.
A couple of people say, you know what? If you hadn't came along, man, I would have did something to myself. I need to be out here because I can save somebody. They're not somebody that's worthless, because with the right type of help, those people can pull themselves up. I'm just another vet giving back to the community, doing what needs to be done.
This is why we're here, that selfless dedication to others in the community. It's so great to see. Melvin and his late sister Margaret founded Outreach Chicago, and as you heard him say in that video clip there, they've helped more than 16,000 people here locally.
That is incredible. And now Timothy Knight, President and CEO of the Robert R. McCormick Foundation, is here to present Melvin with the Military Hero Award.
Give thanks to those who have supported me, my family members, my mother, my brother that's here, and a special thanks to the volunteers, because they are the heart of our city.
Well, we are grateful to the many dedicated police officers who serve and protect our communities every day, and we want to begin this section of the program by saying thank you to all the law enforcement officers for your hard work on behalf of all of us.
Absolutely. They are critical to our community, and we are grateful. Our law enforcement heroes are a special duo. It was a harrowing rescue that they undertook, all after a little boy lost his football on the ice.
Officers Alexander Lopez and Andrew Soderlund of the Aurora Police Department are our law enforcement heroes.
We have a person drowning. Drowning where?
A 911 call sends officers to an Aurora apartment complex.
When I received the call, I knew it was an elevated tech response because of the circumstances surrounding what was going on. They said, hey, we got a kid in the water, and then there's a woman in the water. So we were flying there. You're kind of thinking about what you're going to do when you get there.
When I approached the frozen pond, I could see the woman and boy in the middle of the pond and through the ice. The boy was on his back, and they were kind of holding onto the edge of the frozen water to keep themselves afloat. So I run as quickly as I can to the shoreline, drop my vest, drop my duty belt, jump into the water, and I just start breaking through the ice as quickly as I can. I try to grab them both to try to pull them toward the shoreline, and as soon as I grab hold of them, I can no longer feel the ground underneath me.
There was just no way for them to all make it back, because when you've got two people that are panicked and trying to stay afloat, they're wearing heavy parkas, it's cold outside, they're not able to swim for themselves. So I had to tie a rope to myself and jumped in the water and swam to them, was able to grab them, and then the rope that had been attached to me was pulled by our coworkers on the shoreline, pulled us back to shore.
Young boy, myself and Officer Sullivan had to be transported to the hospital just to get checked out. Stayed a couple hours in the emergency room along with myself. What sticks with me is the great outcome that we had, the teamwork that we had within our department, with everybody showing up, get those water rescue kids out to us so that we could have a happy ending to this horrible incident.
My baby was not gonna be here. And I'm thankful for him.
We all remember this today, and we're glad to have a happy ending. And just to put a period on this, Officers Lopez and Soderlund actually bought the boy a new football as well.
Above and beyond. Please welcome to the stage Cynthia Yadsky, Senior Vice President of Communications and Brand for Motorola Solutions, to present Officers Alexander Lopez and Andrew Soderlund with the Law Enforcement Hero Award.
I'm deeply honored to accept this award along with my partner. As police officers, we're trained to act quickly and decisively in emergency situations. And that is exactly what we did when we entered the water that Coleman Bay. We are grateful for the opportunity to have made a difference in this young man's life. And we are humbled to receive this recognition. But we could not have done it alone. It took teamwork, dedication, and shared commitment to serving our community. Thank you to the Red Cross for this honor. We will continue to work tirelessly to keep our community safe.
I'd like to take just a couple seconds to say how grateful and honored Officer Lopez and I are to receive this award. I'd like to thank the City of Aurora and our command staff, the Aurora Police Department. Together, they provided us with the tools and training to make today possible. I'd like to thank my own Lieutenant McWilliams for nominating us for this award, and the American Red Cross for accepting that nomination and awarding us today. It's an extremely humbling experience that I'm extremely grateful for, so thank you so very much.
The first three hero stories are truly exceptional, and we are just getting started.
Well, these are the humanitarians that we've been talking about this morning. Everyday people choosing to put others before themselves despite the risks and without thought of recognition or reward. Each generous in their own way, so it's great to be recognizing them here this morning.
Just like the humanitarians who volunteer with the Red Cross, regular people who sign up to help someone on their darkest day. The Red Cross is an organization comprised of volunteers. In fact, 90% of the team are volunteers. There are more than 300,000 of them across the country and 3,000 here locally. Many of them are in the audience today. All are working to prevent and alleviate human suffering in the face of emergency.
And there are a lot of emergencies on a daily basis. Locally, the Red Cross responds to more than 2,000 home fires across Illinois every year, providing comfort and hope to families who've lost everything. The Red Cross teaches life-saving skills like CPR and first aid to thousands of people, and they support military families and members of our armed forces, providing emergency communications to get military members home when there is an emergency.
The Red Cross is a bright light amid a crisis. Around the globe, they aid families through the devastation of war or natural disaster, and as deadly conflicts continue in Ukraine and in the aftermath of a terrible earthquake that devastated Turkey and Syria, the Red Cross is there. With the frequency and severity of disasters increasing, from hurricanes to atmospheric rivers to tornadoes and more, numerous disasters occurring more often in our new reality. Through them all, your Red Cross provides hope. They provide comfort when people have nowhere else to turn.
The Red Cross collects 40% of our nation's blood supply, saving lives of accident victims, those suffering from cancer, people with sickle cell, birth trauma, and much more. So many of our local hospitals here in Chicago rely on life-saving blood from the Red Cross.
Did you know that the most common disaster for the Red Cross volunteers is that they respond to house fires, home fires? Through their sound, they sound the alarm campaign. The Red Cross has been installing smoke alarms into homes in vulnerable communities. More than 1,600 lives have been saved nationally, and 45 of these are in Illinois through this program. Those are homes where the Red Cross installed a smoke alarm, the family had a house fire, and the people were able to escape safely. And just this past March, the Chicago Red Cross team installed special bed shaker and strobe alarms for members of the deaf community in the Chatham neighborhood.
The American Red Cross is an organization you can depend on when you need it most. And I don't know about you, but when I walked in today and you see the workers in the vest, the Red Cross vest, there's just sort of this comforting feeling. And we're not in the middle of a crisis or the worst day of our lives, but you know when you are, they will be there. An average of 90 cents of every dollar the Red Cross spends is invested in delivering care and comfort for those in need. Down the street, across the country, and around the world, your Red Cross is there.
Joe, I'm grateful for the dedication of the Red Cross and proud to tell their stories alongside our heroes. So now it is time to meet our next humanitarian hero.
So we all remember this past 4th of July, Highland Park was thrust into the national spotlight as the community faced tragedy at their Independence Day parade.
In just a few moments, many heroes emerged. Mothers, fathers, neighbors, strangers, all in a split second, each helped those in need in any way possible.
And this is the story of one hero who emerged that day. It was only the 3rd day in his new community of Highland Park. We would like you to meet now Father Hernan Cuevas Contreras, our disaster relief hero.
I was moved to Highland Park in Highwood in July 1st. We as a church wanted to be part of the parade. We wanted to show our community this new parish that came together, Immaculate Conception in St. James. And I just wanted to capture that moment of joy and happiness and encounter with our parishioners.
A sudden burst of gunfire 10 minutes after the start of the 4th of July parade sent parade participants and spectators running for their lives.
And I heard these sounds as fireworks. And I thought that was what it was, but it was not. So I saw people running towards us, and I was confused. But as a leader, I had to guide my community members that were there. So I turned around and I started to tell my parishioners, please run, let's go to church. When I got there, there were already people in the church crying. There was a lot of anxiety. So we wanted to make sure that everybody was safe and that they were sheltered in the church and taken care of. You never know the intensity of the trauma until you are there, right? Living in that experience and not knowing what is going to be happening outside.
Eventually we made it to church and the door was open, Father was there, and other people were already there. Our new priest, who had just started 2 days before, was now, leading us and through this experience, this unbelievable happening.
50 strangers hunkered down for nearly 4 hours.
Catholics, non-Catholics, we were all there together. There were 3 kids that also were part of this wave of people running away from where the shooting took place. And one thing that we saw was on the shirts, they had this splash of blood because their father was shot. So we took care of them, kept them until their mother came back. We provided right away the following day a healing mass, a mass for the victims and family members, because we saw, again, anxiety, a lot of depression. People needed some kind of support and spiritual guidance. But also, on the other hand, we saw the sense of unification.
I believe Father Hernan is a hero because he has shown, especially on the 4th of July, his leadership, his caring, his love of fellow man.
Jumping into action and being there for the people of Highwood and Highland Park.
What a way to start a new chapter in your life, 3 days later, right? He was there to answer the call. Wendell Davis, president of and CEO of Nicor Gas, is here to present the award to Father Hernan Cuevas Contreras, our disaster relief hero.
Good morning, everyone. It is so good to be all here. I was told to have only 20 seconds, but I'm used to preach longer than that. So I just want to take 2 seconds of our time just to be in silence and to pray for all those victims who suffer from violence and shootings every day in our country. It takes a heroic community to bring relief and hope to a traumatic experience. So for me, this recognition goes to all God's channels and heroes of healing, peace, and comfort in our families, places of worship, and society. Thanks to all who stood by me and by one another on the 4th of July last year. God bless you all.
We want to thank Father Hernan and so many other people in our community who acted so very heroically on that tragic day.
This is what being a hero is all about. You step up when it's not expected. And as we said, he was there to answer the call, for sure.
Our next heroes may only be 6 and 9, but they are also the recipients of the U.S. President's Award for Voluntary Service. This award honors those who have demonstrated a sustained commitment to volunteer service for at least 12 months.
12 months.
And 6 and 9.
Yeah, 6 and 9. Actually, these guys have been at it since 2020, believe it or not. When, during the pandemic, they noticed members of their community who were in need of help. A sister and brother duo, this is Naomi Melton and Caleb Johnson's story, our youth heroes.
My name is Naomi. My name is Caleb. I am 9.5. And I am 6.5. I saw this man on the street, and they asked my mom, why is he on the street holding the sign? She told me that people on the street were homeless. I said, I want to start to make food for them and then give it to them so they at least have some food to eat.
The idea of making sandwiches started with both of them. We would drive and we would, deliver them to the individuals who were in the camp. There were a couple of parks. And then we said, okay, well, let's think about other places. And so that's when we came up with Connections for the Homeless.
Connections for the Homeless is an organization based in Evanston. What Caleb and Naomi have done causes a ripple effect. So with our lunches, it gets people in the door. So say someone's living on the CTA or living on the street, they are looking for resources. Someone may run into someone else, maybe experiencing homelessness, and says, hey, you can go to Connections and get a bagged lunch. They'll give you a sandwich. And as they continue to come and get those sandwiches, they make connections with our employees and our front desk staff, which leads to getting assigned a case manager and coming in to get that bagged lunch, or then connecting them to getting them out of homelessness.
They use their allowance, they use their saving, they really like doing this.
I feel so happy giving food to the homeless. My goal to help the homeless is at least make 1,000 meals. And right now we're at 500. But if I can make more than 1,000 and complete my goal, I'm gonna go for an even higher one, like maybe 3,000? So mine's maybe 9 million. That's that. And the guys make sometimes color on, draw on, or make it really fancy sometimes. Make hearts, houses, rainbows. Sometimes people just ignore them. Sometimes they look over it and see it. Sometimes they know the homeless is there because they can hear them, but they just don't look over. They just keep driving. So after we made sandwiches, we delivered them, and I was so happy to see that person bucket filled and filled my bucket too. And I want to be able to do this forever.
Well, what a great turn of phrase there. If your bucket wasn't full yet this morning, it is now. We're about to have the show stolen. Naomi and Caleb, an inspiration They prepared 1,300 lunches and counting, and I don't know about you, but I would not discount the 9 million.
No, not for a second. Marcus Flake, Group President in Global Cooking at ITW, is here to present Naomi and Caleb with the Youth Hero Award.
We are so happy to receive this award, and thank you to everyone who supported us. A special thank you to our family. Now our brother's going to say his. Thank you everyone for being so kind to us, and we hope to make many more sandwiches.
I'm sure you all are too. I'm going to keep my eye on Naomi and Caleb. We'll probably be covering them 20 years from now, winning some sort of historic award. I have a feeling this is only the beginning of what you both will be able to accomplish in this world.
Well, what a morning we've had already with amazing heroes and their inspiring actions. We're just getting started. It takes a lot of people to get this event together, so we want to introduce the 2023 co-chairs of the Heroes Breakfast.
Please welcome Patrick Gallagher, CEO of Gallagher Global Brokerage Americas, and Louis Binswanger, Senior Vice President for Governmental Regulatory and External Affairs, for comment.
That's a tough act to follow. Thank you, Joe and Erica, and good morning, everyone. Being co-chairs of this event and meeting our Red Cross heroes is exhilarating, and we're thrilled to have played a role in bringing these stories to you today.
You know, one of the most difficult parts of this event is selecting heroes from an impressive pool of more than 100 nominees submitted by the public. Many are doing selfless things, including our young friends Naomi and Caleb.
This is the 21st Heroes Breakfast, and the 2023 class of heroes is another noteworthy group. So thank you to the nomination committee for letting us know about so many terrific people.
You know, we also must mention the selection committee, and an independent group of civic and corporate leaders who meet to select the heroes honored in each category.
They have a tough job, and we're thrilled with the incredible class of heroes they selected. We want to thank the leadership committee for making the event possible and providing guidance during planning. We'd also like to thank the Red Cross of Greater Chicago Board of Directors, a group committed to the furthering of the mission of the Red Cross. Louie and I are proud members of this board. We'd also like to thank the generous women of our Red Cross Tiffany Circle, our women's philanthropic network.
And we're grateful for the leadership of this year's honorary chair, Wintrust founder and executive chairman, Ed Wayner, who will be up in a moment. You know, sitting with Ed at the chairman's table are members of the honorary committee and many of Chicago's corporate leaders.
It is our job now to point out that each of you has a paddle at your seat. When the time is right, we'll ask you to raise your paddle to help support the mission of the Red Cross. An average of 90 cents of every dollar the Red Cross spends is invested in the mission, delivering care and comfort for people in need.
And donations of all sizes are appreciated with these on your chair, so a big donation or a bigger one is even better. The Red Cross relies on the generosity of people like you to continue the mission of alleviating human suffering. Today's event is only possible because of our many generous sponsors, including our presenting sponsor.
I am proud that Gallagher is able to be the presenting sponsor for the 2023 Heroes Breakfast. Thank you also to our champion sponsors, William Blair, CSX Transportation, ITW, Kirkland and Ellis, KPMG, and of course, Wintrust.
And we are so grateful for our inspiring action sponsors, Make It Better Foundation, the Edwardson Family Foundation. Their generosity inspires others and empowers the Red Cross mission. The Hero Award sponsors make it possible for us to share incredible stories, such as Aon, BMO, Fresenius Kabi, Robert R. McCormick Foundation, Motorola Solutions Foundation, Nicor Gas, United Airlines, and Walgreens.
Of course, our media sponsors, CBS 2 Chicago and Better Media Group, deserve a big thank you for being such dedicated partners, and we're grateful to have Joe and Erica for being our MCs today.
You know, we're also grateful to our interactive technology sponsors for helping us break the social media walls in real time. Patrick M. and Jennifer Gallagher, JLL, Steppen Company, and Wesco. And don't forget to use the hashtag Red Cross Heroes when you post about the event. So many partners make the Heroes Breakfast possible. We'd also like to thank our executive sponsors, our ambassador sponsors, our platinum sponsors, our gold and our silver sponsors.
Our thanks to everyone here this morning for your generous support of the Red Cross. And now we'd like to bring up this year's honorary chair and great family friend, Wintrust founder and executive chairman, Ed Wayne, to honor our Heritage Awardee.
I'm retired, I didn't think I had to get up this early in the morning. I did forget a tie though, which I haven't worn a tie in a long time. I forgot it this morning, so I apologize for my looks, but the guy gave it to me and that's it. So good. Thanks Patrick and Louie. Patrick, you come a long way, I gotta tell you that. We have pictures with my kids, and you behave, I can get you. We want everybody to thank everybody for being here this morning. On behalf of Wintrust, I'm proud to serve as this year's honorary chairman of the American Red Cross Heroes Breakfast. I'd like to thank Selena, her team for inspiring us all. Thank you very much. At Wintrust, our Chicago roots run deep, so we're honored to support the local heroes of Chicagoland for amazing acts of bravery and outstanding dedication to community service. People are the lifeblood of the Red Cross, and I'm proud to celebrate the power of humanitarianism here today. And like the Red Cross and Wintrust, our communities come first, and serving them well is paramount. Our values are grounded in teamwork, ethics, and excellence. And what example demonstrating these values in the 2023 Heritage Award honoree I'm proud to celebrate today. Like the Red Cross, our honoree helps people cope with disasters on a daily basis and has been a long-time serving leader, steering his team to respond with integrity and to stay true to the values of helping customers and communities. Stands on decades of work in disaster response and community service. Someone who has made a difference to so many people. More than 15 years, he's guided an innovative, successful, purpose-driven company with people above policies, celebrate differences, challenge others to recognize that many communities and individuals less access to equitable opportunities to drive change. Honoree views his personal purpose is to help others achieve more meaning, success, which translates both through his work and philanthropic life. He believes that each of us is responsible to be the good in society and a stronger supporter of sustainability, youth empowerment, ending domestic violence, and advancing racial equity. Red Cross Heritage Award recognizes the constant spirit of heroism and humanitarianism. It acknowledges the demonstration of long-term commitment to improving the lives of others through actions, deeds, and philanthropic works. It is my privilege to help honor an incredible civic leader and friend, Tom Wilson, President and Chair, and Chief Executive Officer of the Allstate Corporation.
Built for disasters. We have really an ecosystem that enables us to help people when disaster strikes. When it happens, we're there, we're all in, helping people at their most desperate points in time. Make it a very rewarding career at Allstate. You know, one of the things I'm most proud of is Allstate's culture of, like, we just do whatever it takes when a disaster happens, or we do whatever it takes to lean into our purpose. There are times when there's a hurricane or a storm coming. The team was looking at the path of the storm, and they could see that some bridges were probably going to get blown out and not give them access to our customers until the bridges got fixed. So they decided they were going to go in and reposition our catastrophe response vehicles on the other side of the bridge. So when the bridge got blown down, we would still be there. And we're like, okay, we love that attitude, but be a little careful. Like, we want you to be safe as well. So that can-do attitude is what makes me proud to be an Allstate. There's $1 billion disaster every 18 days. That's a 400% increase from 1980. We're not going to be able to stop Mother Nature, but we are going to be able to react. And so we need everybody to work together, both in the nonprofit sector, in the private sector, and then the governmental sector, to say, how are we going to deal with climate change that's real and that's here? We have over 4,000 organizations in every local community in America through our foundation, which just is all part of our ethos of who we are, is trying to make a difference in the world.
I'm lucky enough to have worked with Allstate at my last 3 organizations. Allstate, when it looks at its partners, it doesn't ask itself, how much is that going to cost? It says, we want to create this change, so what is it going to take? What are we going to need to do? Which of our people do we need? How is it that we can support? And what will this look like long term, not just today?
I think the broader thing is the broader changes we've been helping drive in society. So whether that's youth empowerment, whether that's a relationship abuse or racial equity, those are the things that we're proud of, where we make a difference.
And I believe he is a hero because as part of the corporate community, he has put his foot down and said, we are going to invest in change. We are going to invest in our people. We are going to invest in our communities.
In the end, what we want is Allstate and all of us together to just make a difference in the world.
Tom's amazing legacy is something to be proud of, and we're humbled to honor him with the Red Cross Heritage Award. I'd like to ask Stacy Sharp, Senior Vice President of Allstate, to join me on stage to accept the Heritage Award on behalf of Tom.
Thank you, Ed, for sharing Tom's words and works with us. Obviously, I'm not Tom Wilson, but I have had the honor and privilege of working directly with Tom for nearly 20 years. And I can speak to his leadership and his commitment to communities. He'd be so inspired by our young people loving and leading in youth empowerment. empowerment. Tom was very much looking forward to this gathering. He has been here before, and he wishes he could be here with you. Much of what you saw in the video, Red Cross is a big part of it, so a big thank you on behalf of Tom and all of our All-Staters for the work that Red Cross does around the world. Tom always says that working at Allstate is more than a job. It's a way of life. A way of life about helping people, building a business, and serving your community. He lives that every day, leading Allstate to be a purpose-driven company powered by purpose-driven people. Tom would tell you that his purpose is to help others achieve more meaning and success in their lives. He has done that when he's helping employees and customers on the ground after disaster strikes, leading us to create resources to help people after disasters, whether there are customers or not, or advocating for better climate resiliency with lawmakers. Like you heard in his video, it takes all of us to make a better world. Thank you for your support of the Red Cross. Thank you for making a positive difference in people's lives. Tom would say that is the true measure of success. On behalf of Tom and 50,000 All-Staters, thank you for this recognition.
So our thanks to Tom and everyone, all the All-Staters, for being here today and representing it. As Tom mentioned in the video there, one thing we know for sure, disasters are not slowing down. We're seeing them more and more. I want to thank also Ed Waymer and Wintrust for their support of the Red Cross. So Erica, it's time to start recognizing some more heroes.
Let's get to it. Our next team of heroes are heroic every time they get dressed and go to work. We are talking about firefighters. On a daily basis, their work is dangerous, tough, and demanding.
We want to start out by giving a shout out, as we did for the police, our gratitude for all of our firefighters. In particular, a huge thank you to Fire Commissioner Annette Nance Holt of the Chicago Fire Department, who is here today. Raise your hand, Commissioner, where are you? There you go, right here, right front. As we know, the team has experienced the tragic loss this year of valued team members, firefighter Jermaine Pelt and Lieutenant John Shorrock. Our hearts certainly with the Chicago Fire Department and as well the Chicago Police Department for their losses, especially just recently with Officer Ariana Preston's death. We thank you all for what you do as first responders. I know it's a difficult time in many ways to be a first responder, but you're willing to do things that most of us wouldn't even consider, and you do it every day. So our hearts are with the Chicago Fire Department and Police Department. Commissioner, thank you for all you and your department do for the city.
Fires are unpredictable. Firefighters often arrive on scene not knowing what to expect. And so that was the case for our next group of heroes. It was midnight and a raging fire in the Austin neighborhood had several people trapped within.
Please meet Captain Paul Burns, firefighter paramedic Michael Mojeski, and firefighter EMT Jeffrey Ridge of the Chicago Fire Department. They are our firefighter heroes.
Now let's get to some breaking news this morning. A little girl, 3 adults in the hospital this morning after a fire broke out in an apartment.
It happened on the city's west side in the South Austin neighborhood.
There was a heavy volume of fire coming out of the front of the building on the first floor, and the fire was starting to lap up to the second floor. You have to believe there's people inside. It was Mike and I first. Jeff was coming behind us. It's zero visibility. You literally cannot see your hand in front of your face. And we could hear somebody right away. She kept saying, like, my baby's in there, my baby's in there. So our first thing was to get her out, and then the 3 of us went back up
So you just kind of start feeling around. I came across what felt like a mattress. There was a lot of debris on the ground. Someone told me to kind of kneel onto the bed and sweep a little further, and that's when I felt an arm. Jeff and I helped carry her out together, and that's when Paul went in and continued to search in that bedroom.
I was moving debris, and I saw a foot, and so then I peeled the debris off, and that was when I found the 3-year-old girl.
It's always nice to help anybody, but when there's innocent people and children involved, and we were able to actually get in there and help, it does seem to hit you a little bit harder. That it means a little bit more.
At a fire like this, it's not uncommon to have 25 or more people. It's a team effort. It would not be possible if it weren't for all the other people that were there with us.
The Chicago Fire Department says that the apartment where 4 people were hurt in a fire on the west side had no working smoke detectors.
A very large percentage of fatalities or serious injury could probably be avoided if there was better use of smoke detectors. Mike, Jeff, and myself are getting acknowledged for this, but if it weren't for all of the other people there, we would not have been able to do that.
Make us all proud.
And modesty as well. Now, Marianne Korenik, CEO of Chicago Trust Company from Wind Trust, is here to present Fire Captain Paul Burns, firefighter paramedic Michael Bojeski, and firefighter EMT Jeffrey Rich of the Chicago Fire Department with the Firefighter Heroes Award.
Rich and myself would just like to thank the American Red Cross for this recognition. We all want to emphasize that we don't do our job for the awards and recognitions, but we're thankful that we were able to perform our job quickly and effectively that evening to help those people in need. We're still very honored to be here this morning and grateful to be the recipients of this award. Thank you. Just another day for those guys, right? Every day. Yeah, we're just doing our job.
Our next hero is a kind and caring humanitarian who has always been there for his congregation in the North Boston and Belmont Craven neighborhoods.
Yet it is another population in need that he and his team have been caring for since their unexpected arrival last summer.
This is the story of Pastor John Zayas, our global citizenship hero.
My church is predominantly Latino. We now serve in the Austin community, and so now we're serving migrants.
When these migrants arrived in Chicago at the end of August, they were the first wave of many more to come, sent on buses from the southern border.
Texas was sending buses to New York, and Washington, the rumors were Chicago was next.
The city of Chicago asked the Red Cross to get involved with the support of the asylum seekers to figure out how to run shelters. The Red Cross wanted to support as much as we can, and part of that comes through our partners and how important it is to partner with a church like Grace and Peace, who's doing the work of the community.
Within 24 hours, we were ready to go. When they are coming off the bus, they're full of trauma. The first thing I do is make sure that they feel safe. We give them a good, hot meal. Shoes, clothing, a shower, everything they need.
The difference that Pastor John has made in the migrant community is instilling hope by giving them food, shelter, allowing them to learn English, allowing them to work, restoring their dignity.
We worked with the commissioner's office and we said, listen, we have a warehouse.
He said, here we've got a food pantry, we've got outreach programs, we're doing works with migrants already. We've got all these programs in place. Here, like, look at what we're doing, we can help.
We've worked with over 1,000 migrants. There's been so much that have come through the city. But when I called the commissioner, I said, hey, I got another family. He goes, man, what are we doing? He goes, hey, you're a flagship. You know, people are coming because they know.
This man loves his community. He welcomes people who are hurt, who are injured, who are looking for a better life, looking for hope, looking for love, looking for acceptance.
I'm proud of my team. When we work together, we can do amazing things.
So please welcome Lauren Stone, Director of Environmental, Social, and Governance for Walgreens, to present Pastor John Zayas with the Global Citizenship Hero Award.
First of all, I'd like to thank God for the opportunity to serve. I thank God because when I see the faces of the migrants coming off the bus, and all they ask for is, "Estoy libre." I'm free. So I want to thank my team, my church, my staff, my wife, my children, my grandchildren. I want to thank Chicago for being a welcoming city and allowing us to love people where they are. And if we can do that, we can make our world a better place. I use this term a lot. Compassion can be stretched, and it's rewarding if you allow it. Thank you.
Our next hero is a nurse, but it is her role as a mom that is core to her being and to her heroic story.
She has taken this story and woven it into a message about the impact of donation that we will never forget.
Her strength and resilience are absolutely astonishing. This is Yvonne Blake's story, our incredible blood services hero.
My son Jaden is an amazing young man. Jaden is, I'd say, he's a social activist, committed to community service, and a dedicated athlete. His school did a blood drive, and Jaden is a science geek, and part of what they explained to them is that one donation can save 3 lives. He was fascinated by that. Jaden was a student at Grand Valley University in Michigan, Grand Valley State. He was there on academic as well as an athletic scholarship. He was going to a football game. Jaden is driving, and he was hit head-on by a truck. It was, I think, one of the worst calls you ever get. We were at the hospital. Jaden was already in an induced coma. He had severe injuries, and he was in the intensive care unit. So he never regained consciousness. But I'm very grateful that I got to spend that last week of his life with him. Jaden got about 40 units of blood products, and then when we realized that we weren't going to get the miracle that we prayed for, we decided, okay, we're going to let something good happen, and we'll have Jaden be an organ donor. Well, Jaden was tired, and didn't look like he was going to hold on for them to get that process done. And in between, there was almost another 20 units of blood that got into the finish line. So I will always be grateful that we were at a level 1 trauma center and the blood was available. people started asking, what can we do? How can we help? And we said, just go donate. Jaden is cleaning out the bank. So we need you to donate. And that's kind of how it started. It's important for me to honor Jay. As a nurse, I give blood. And I've seen how people that you thought weren't going to make it. And a large part of that is because of that gift of life that someone donated. Blood donation is very simple, very easy, but the impact is stupendous. So for me to do this means I'm able to honor Jaden often. And it got me to thinking that there's a lot of misconceptions around blood donation and that often African Americans don't do it as much as some of the other people might. People of color often have difficulty with access. That's why it was so important for me that first drive allowed his friends a chance to give. Many of our donors are first-time donors, again, because Jaden's foundation and Jaden's blood drives are reaching people that may not have donated before. I think Jaden would be happy about it, and it keeps my son alive. Every time somebody reaches out to us and says, we'd like to host a drive in Jaden's honor, that's the beauty. So I think he would be pretty pleased that we were taking up the mantle in his honor, and he would be screaming go as loud as heaven's doors will allow.
Sharing your son and your story with us. You and Jaden are both incredible humanitarians, and your story will forever motivate us.
That was powerful. And it reminds us all why we're here this morning. And that is when you're in a position and you need help, and it's something you can't do for yourself, you're counting on other people to help you. And in their case, they did. To have all those units of blood, that's just, again, a simple reminder to donate if you can. Yvonne, we can't wait to meet you and hear from you. Here's Eddie Kubo as well, Senior Vice President of Transfusion Medicine and Cell Therapies at Fresenius Kabi, here to present Yvonne Blake with the Blood Services Hero Award.
Thank you to my family and my friends, my colleagues, especially those from Jack and Jill of America and Delta Sigma Theta sorority, who have lent their support on this journey. My husband, Mr. Brown, my son, JB, my goddaughter, Jamila, and the executive director of our foundation, Kaya, who is my friend and organized that very first blood drive. I especially want to say thank you to my son, Jaden, an African-American young man at 21 who lived a life and made this legacy possible. So when you see him on the news and when you see other little black boys on the news, you know that we too do great things. They will shoot me, but I must ask you to just join me really quickly. Go!
Thank you, Soror. Yvonne is an incredibly heroic woman.
So our next is our education hero. Our hero delivers motivation, inspiration, and superb athletic prowess to the young students he teaches and coaches. Working hard to have his experience and adversity benefit the children he works with, he continually reinforces that education is the key.
Introducing our education hero, Sean Harrington. This is his story.
Basketball has opened up a lot of doors and broadened my horizons in ways never would have imagined. Everything I do revolves around helping kids, try to use sports as a tool to continue education, get out and broaden their horizons.
Basketball was my first love, and still is.
Harrington, a Chicago Blues standout and former coach at Marshall High School, appeared in the 90s basketball doc Hoop Dreams.
When you're coaching in the Chicago Public League, you're doing just as much parenting as you are coaching. It was not ordinary to drop kids off at home, give them a couple of dollars to get them something to eat. This was just a regular day on my way to work, dropping off to school, 2 kids down the corner, the same age kids that I work with every day. Mistake my car for someone else's car, and me and my daughter just became under fire by barrage of bullets. At that point in time, it was just about protecting my daughter. The fact that she was able to walk away from that car without a scratch on her body, I would do it all over again. The love and support that I got from north, west, south, east side of Chicago, I had a great support system on this journey that I'm still on.
Back on the court, the first time since he was left paralyzed by a shooting.
Deshaun Harrington feels at peace at Children of Peace Catholic School.
Teaching pre-K to 8th grade, it's been a blessing. They've been as much as a blessing to me as I've been to them.
If they're surprised by the fact, hey, there's a guy in Ridge that can teach me how to play basketball, I'm fine with that. Every time I see one of these kids shoot a jump shot and it goes in, I felt like I shot.
I'm having fun playing these games that I played growing up with these kids and teaching them life lessons, along with just having fun and teaching them how to be a good classmate, how to be a good friend, how to apologize when you're wrong, when you made a mistake. And it's okay to make a mistake. No one's perfect. They say behind every door there's an opportunity. We've always heard teachers tell you that education is the key. So I like to put those together and say that education is the key to open up the doors of opportunity.
What a great message. Sean, you're educating and motivating all of us. Let's welcome Jerry Darko, Partner and Managing Director from William Blair, to present Sean Harrington with the Education Hero Award.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for being here today. Thank you to Red Cross for this honor and this blessing that you've given me here today. I want to thank my principal, Miss Nantweed at Children of Peace School, for nominating me for this awesome blessing. My friends and family that are here today, Maurice, Susan, Chelsea, and a woman who has been a godmother to me, and the 2002 Red Cross Education Award hero, the legend Dorothy Gators, who is here with me today, and makes this honor just that much more meaningful to me. So I thank you all very much for being here. And as I said to our youth, I just want to say that education is truly the key to open up the doors of opportunity. If the door is closed, if it has a lock on it, you open it with that key. And that key is that education. Thank you.
Sean, thank you for all that you do. The life lessons and the basketball skills. You are teaching skills that will last a lifetime. So Joe, the 2023 hero stories are really extraordinary.
It's been great to hear them all. I'm moved, and I don't know about you, but I've had chills like about 15 times already this morning. I know, yeah. So we love hearing these inspirational stories from all of these heroes.
The Heroes Breakfast is an amazing way to start an early morning, and now I have the pleasure of welcoming someone who leads the Illinois Red Cross team in the face of emergency every day, and we are proud to stand alongside her. Please welcome Selena Rodan Sorillo, Chief Executive Officer of the American Red Cross.
is a privilege to be here and to honor the astounding heroes that walk among us. Each hero, a light of hope in our world. They are people who helped and saved the lives of others they did not know. Our heroes are our volunteers, who are always ready to help. And at the Red Cross, we understand the importance of being ready. We need to be ready because no matter the crisis, during heartbreaking moments, our Red Cross volunteers are there delivering help and hope. This past year, we have been asked to be ready and help in ways that we never have before. Natural disasters are increasing in frequency and ferocity. There's not an organization that is more impacted by our climate crisis than the Red Cross. This crisis has caused disasters to go from acute to chronic, creating excessive devastation for some of our most vulnerable communities. Hurricane Ian was the third costliest weather disaster on record. It slammed Fort Myers and ripped across the state, leaving almost 200,000 people homeless. Barbara was one of those people. She sought shelter with the Red Cross, and our resources helped get her back on her feet. Barbara said, "You guys are like family to me. You've done what family typically tries to do. You make sure we were safe." We are trained to be ready and sometimes need to respond to use skills that we hope we never have to use. This summer, on July 4th, I was with my family when I received the call that a mass shooting had occurred at a parade in nearby Highland Park. Within minutes, a group of Red Crossers who were getting ready to march the Independence Day parade immediately were redirected with one of our emergency response vehicles to support first responders as they responded to this unimaginable tragedy. For the next 2 weeks, I served alongside our Red Cross volunteers at our family assistance centers in Highland Park and Highwood. These family assistance centers were facilitated by the Red Cross with the FBI and were the place that those who had been at the 4th of July parade would go for counseling, legal help, and health services. People came there to collect the belongings they had left behind on the parade route. We could not imagine the heartbreak we heard from those who attended the parade, but we understood the immense responsibility we had to provide help and hope to this community after its worst day. In today's complex world, the Red Cross is increasingly asked to respond to unique and devastating humanitarian crises as they unfold. Helping humanity is the first fundamental principle of the global Red Cross, to protect life and health and ensure respect for all human beings. Steve Wise is a Red Cross volunteer who is an expert in mass care and sheltering. He's helped our most vulnerable children by serving during our border operations and by providing shelter training to those seeking shelter in Chicago. As Red Crossers, we are humanitarians and we believe that all people should be helped. We are there at our border and across our cities, providing supplies and support while sharing our knowledge and expertise and compassion during this humanitarian crisis. Difficult situations happen every day, and the Red Cross is there, making sure people have the life-saving skills they need to be ready, knowing CPR and first aid allows people to be the help before help arrives. Seisha Welch Moore is one of our Red Cross team members, and she was trained by the Red Cross in CPR and first aid and was at her gym and saw a man not breathing. She did not hesitate while others stood by, not knowing what to do. Seisha gave him chest compressions until the paramedics arrived. Seisha told me that several years ago, her father passed away from a cardiac arrest, and she wanted to be able to help give this man more time with his family. Seisha was able to share that this man is now back working out at the gym with his son. We walk alongside the first responders, the bravest of heroes, who are ready to help people in their most vulnerable moments. Fire is our most common disaster. It takes everything and leaves people in the middle of the night not knowing where to go or where to turn. Our Red Cross volunteers are there, helping individuals who have lost everything. This February, a devastating home fire displaced 13 people, including Elvir Bajic, who said, "My memories of the Red Cross are from my youth in Bosnia during the war. I will never forget Red Cross volunteers with snacks and toys for the children in my village during a horrific time. Decades later, here I am, facing a home fire, and all I could think was, where are my children going to sleep tonight?" To my surprise, I see the Red Cross pull up alongside the fire department. I had no idea the Red Cross assisted during local disasters. I only thought they responded to global disasters in war-torn countries. At that moment, when I saw the Red Cross volunteers, I knew we were not alone, and my family would be okay. As Red Crossers, we never know what is ahead, but we do know the Red Cross will be called upon in ways we never have before. We will need to be ready. We will need to be there to provide help and hope. I'm often asked how people can help the Red Cross. You can roll up a sleeve and donate blood to someone who is fighting cancer. You can get trained in CPR and first aid to help save someone's life. You can help by putting on a Red Cross vest, and you can join us in being ready. The Red Cross is part of your community. It is not a building or a physical structure. Your Red Cross is comprised of local community members who care about people. You are part of that community. Your Red Cross is there in the hardest moments. We are humanitarians aiding refugees with nowhere to turn. We are providing counsel in the wake of horrific tragedy. We are standing with families after a fire. We are delivering first aid with the hope of recovery. As our volunteer Steve Wise said, when disasters are no longer in the news and are forgotten by many, we know that someone out there is counting on us to help restore their broken lives. We wear our Red Cross vests proudly, and we show those vests to those so needing our hearts. You can make sure the Red Cross is ready. You can join us and be part of the help we need in the world. I cannot imagine a world without the Red Cross. As humanitarians, Red Crossers believe everyone should be helped. And if you agree, you can help us continue to be there and be ready by showing your support and getting ready to raise your paddle. You can make your gift online through the QR code on your paddle, or you can complete the paddle form. Either way, we want you to raise your paddles and join us in support of the Red Cross. And we are very grateful to the Geneva High School students who are here with us today, as well as our Red Cross volunteers. Let's give them a round of applause. And they will be helping us collect the paddles today. So that's our only rule. Either you're applauding others who are giving or you're raising your paddle in support of the Red Cross. Your gift will be matched up to $125,000 thanks to the Make It Better Foundation and the Edwardson Family Foundation. And for gifts of $1,000 or more, you get to take home this American Red Cross picnic blanket. Okay, so I want you to meet somebody. This is Yasmin. Yasmin Clinton is a Red Cross who has led shelters from many disasters, including Hurricane Ian. Yasmin says, despite the devastation of a disaster, it is important to make sure that those in the shelter are comfortable and to make sure that they are treated well. She has set up birthday parties, she has arranged special meals, and she always ensures that people are treated with dignity and respect. $10,000 will go to provide 50 families a full day of food and shelter after a devastating disaster. I want to know who is going to lead us off at $10,000 to help 50 people who are living in shelters. Can I see $10,000 to help people in shelters? $10,000. picture of Kevin. I'm going to tell you about Beverly. Beverly is a mom, a cancer researcher, med student, and sickle cell patient. She has needed blood exchange transfusions, which is 7 to 9 units at once, to help her in a sickle cell crisis. Beverly says that I am alive today because I could get a transfusion. It is a life-saving gift. I want to thank every single person that donates blood. $5,000 covers the cost to test, type, and match 70 units of blood for people living with sickle cell disease. This is so important to make sure that we have matching for people with sickle cell disease. Lives depend on it. And I see $5,000 to support people who are living with sickle cell disease. $5,000. She is a Red Cross volunteer and a seasoned emergency response vehicle driver. Jackie has delivered meals and supplies to many disasters across the country, including hurricanes, wildfires in California, and after horrible home fires here in Illinois. Jackie says she loves being an ERG driver because you literally get to hand deliver the mission of the Red Cross to people who need it the most. $1,500 is what it takes to deploy an emergency response vehicle to serve people affected by disasters for 4 days with 2 other Red Cross disaster volunteers like Jackie. And I see $1,500 for our emergency response vehicles to be able to go out and deliver the mission of the Red Cross. And I see $1,500, please. Now I'd like to introduce you to Brenda. Brenda and I met when I did a special smoke alarm installation for the deaf community in the Chatham neighborhood in Chicago with the Afafa Lutheran Church for the deaf. The Red Cross is all about equal access. And we made sure that we had bed shaker and stroke alarms for hearing impaired that we were able to install that day for this community. $500 provides safety training and smoke alarm installation for more than 24 homes in our community to make families safer. We know that having a working smoke alarm cuts the risk of dying in home fire in half. And I see $500 to help save lives by installing smoke alarms. $500. Our Geneva High School students are doing awesome. They're real Red Cross volunteers. Thank you. Meet Rich Stansizen. He is a 23-year Air Force veteran and retired Master Sergeant. Rich is a volunteer who now provides emergency contacts with our service members who are deployed during an emergency. During an emergency or crisis, our military counts on the Red Cross to provide emergency communications with family members, whether it is the birth of a baby or the illness of a family member. The Red Cross gets the message to military members so that they can get home. $250 covers the cost of providing emergency communications and critical community services to 10 military families. Can I see $250 in support of emergency communications for our military? $250, thank you so much. $250,
today because you care, and you can really show it. You are all heroes for being here and supporting our mission. At Fires, we often hear that it's the small things that matter. It is the toothbrush, it is the blanket, it is the hug. So please, raise your paddle at any level. A gift of any size makes a difference and allows us to be there on someone's worst day. So can we see any remaining paddles up in the air at any level? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Keep those paddles high. Thank you so much for supporting Red Cross. Thank you. I think our Geneva students, they had their work cut out today. They didn't realize we're going to have so many generous humanitarians in the room. Thank you so much. I am so grateful to each and every one of you for being here today and for supporting the mission of the Red Cross. Can we get another round of applause for all the humanitarians? So I want to welcome Joe and Erica back to the stage.
Thank you, Selena. I think you missed a level up. Raise your paddle if you'd like to donate $1 million. Raise it, keep them high. You don't know if you don't answer.
That's true. As Selena mentioned, we have just a few more heroes left this morning, and we can't wait to share them. Our next hero has dedicated his career to providing recreation and leisure services for individuals with physical or intellectual disabilities.
He's coached adaptive sports for more than 20 years. He prides himself on his ability to help his college-bound athletes both attain athletic scholarships and find success in the workforce as well.
A founder of the North American Wheelchair Basketball League, our hero's dedication and perseverance have grown his South Suburban program to one admired across the United States.
This is Keith Wallace's story, our community impact hero.
I'm the executive director for the Lincoln Way Special Recreation Association. We partner with 8 park districts to provide recreation opportunities for individuals with disabilities. I had the freedom when I started at Lincoln Way to grow a program, and that's where I came in and started the wheelchair program for individuals with physical disabilities, because there was no programming on the south side of Chicago. Our SRA, I like to say, is the best because we have the best staff and the best team. So we created an atmosphere that anybody will be served. So we want anybody that has any disability, we will have a place for them. That's the mission, that's the goal. We want to create a community without limits. So our wheelchair basketball program, we're the only program on the south side of Chicago. From Chicago all the way down to U of I. There's no other team in between. We have every ethnicity. It's a melting pot of just love. We have a lot of veterans that are coming back and, they have traumatic brain injuries. I started the North American Wheelchair Basketball League, and there's a lot of people out there that they think that the sport should just be for individuals with disabilities, but I have a mindset that we bring more people if we make it inclusive. So I started a league where everybody can play.
I really don't know if I could get the school where I'm at without meeting him for wheelchair basketball. He was saying that I could get scholarships for basketball. He said I could play overseas. He said I could be on an Olympic team.
I met a 3-year-old the other day, and I'm already saying, have you talked about college already? But that's a real thing for me, is making sure the parent have a long-term plan for their child, and that's very important. Having a job is an important part of that, so they can take care of themselves.
I think he is willing to do anything to get you where you need to be.
We are creating a workforce that doesn't look the same as others. Typically, we're drawn to people by the outer exterior, and we don't get to meet the inside. And we just got to peel back those layers and take the time to understand people.
Partnerships for United Airlines to the stage to present Keith Wallace with the Community Impact Hero Award.
So I'm going to try to get through this as soon as possible. All right, thank you to my team at Lincoln Way Special Recreation Association for providing opportunities for individuals with disabilities and changing lives. I'd like to thank my wife, my children, my mom, my grandmother, all for allowing me to serve the way I do. I leave this with a quote of Muhammad Ali: "Service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth." Thank you.
All right, so I need to take Keith's advice. I've got a 2.5-year-old, so college by the fall. One thing we know is that healthcare workers are heroic every single day. They dedicate their lives to ensuring our wellness and protecting our communities, often at personal risk.
Our healthcare hero is a nurse who leads the emergency department at Advocate Trinity Hospital on the south side. When initially meeting our hero, you might think she's a bit reserved, but her relentless dedication to ensuring that her Southside community is served equitably makes her a giant in her profession.
Going above and beyond in emergency medicine care and ensuring everyone is treated fairly is just the beginning of who our hero is. We are introducing our healthcare hero, Nurse Nicole Jackson.
Technology is fantastic, isn't it? Here we go.
Towards the end of my shift, I needed to go with that patient so that we would take away from the nursing staff.
Well, at least we do have a closed captioning there. We got that little snippet of it. We might give Nicole a few extra seconds to explain for herself, past her 20 seconds, about all the tremendous work she's doing.
All right, I think we're going to restart it here.
Okay, let's try that again.
I work for Advocate Trinity Hospital. I work in the emergency department, so we see everything.
Nicole is small in stature, but she is a giant as a nurse.
On June 23rd, we had multiple gunshot victims came into the emergency department. We had called an ambulance to take one of the victims to a higher level of care, which was not an ambulance with a critical care nurse. So they needed a nurse to ride with that victim. We were short-staffed and the nurses were working very hard, and even though it was the end of my shift, I needed to go with that patient so that we would take away from the nursing staff that was already there caring for critical patients.
That day when Nicole went out on the ambulance, if she hadn't, chances are he would not have survived. Advocate Trinity sits on the southeast side of Chicago. We have a large percentage of Medicare, Medicaid patients. Anyone who walks through our doors, who comes here by ambulance, who needs our assistance, is going to get the best quality care possible. That's not always the case for particularly Black and brown people.
I decided to become a nurse because I was in a position where I was sick and someone had to care for me, and I've also been around family members and people who care for sick people. I've seen the compassion that they've had for them, and I wanted to do the same thing.
Nicole is the pillar of compassion, of empathy, taking to the extreme what it means to be a nurse.
The community that we serve at Trinity, they have multiple comorbidities and they need someone who cares.
It's really about the care for the community she serves. She is a servant leader.
It's just a privilege to be able to serve. It's a privilege to be able to take care of people.
We are delighted to be able to bestow this award during Nurses Appreciation Week.
Please welcome Mike Neller, Senior VP, Global Controller, and Chief Accounting Officer at Aon, to present Nurse Nicole Jackson with the Healthcare Hero Award.
Selfless people. It is indeed a pleasure and an honor to serve in this capacity as a nurse. If there was ever a time I questioned my calling or my purpose, now I know it was to be a nurse. I would like to thank my family and the leaders at Advocate Trinity Hospital for their support in ensuring that my mental, spiritual, and physical self are intact. Thank you so much.
Our final hero of the 2023 class of Red Cross Heroes. It's been an amazing morning meeting compassionate and selfless individuals.
Big finish. You know, the homecoming dance is a high school rite of passage for a lot of folks, and many were grateful that our hero was present at the Geneva High School homecoming.
It was her training, and I don't mean dance training, that came in handy that evening. And now for our final hero of the morning, here is the story of the life-saving rescue hero, Nicole Collins.
I grew up in Geneva, Illinois. I am a Geneva High School alum. I am now currently one of the 2 athletic trainers at the high school.
Geneva High senior Bridget Archbold back in school today after a terrifying experience at her homecoming dance.
I was actually in the hallway for the time being, and the music stopped in the gym. That didn't really sit right with me. Something told me that I needed to walk into the gym.
About 2 hours into the dance, Archbold collapsed on the gym floor.
My principal and my dean picked me up and carried me to the side where they laid me on my back, and then they started seizing.
And then after she got done seizing, I checked her pulse and she didn't have a pulse. So I rolled her to her back and I did 30 compressions. And then I checked her pulse again, she still didn't have one. Did about 25 more compressions and she started to cough.
She did save my life. I feel like forever grateful towards her, and I just can't shake off the feeling that I could have died if she wasn't there.
I knew what to do in that moment because I've been practicing and trained for this. I have been CPR and AED certified since I was probably 7. I saw a helpless child and it just kind of kicks in when you see somebody that needs help. I think it's just a natural instinct. People should take CPR class or get certified in CPR because you never know when you're going to use it and can save a life. Her dean did let me know that she was okay the next day, and then she actually came and saw me on Monday. She gave me this card when she came to my office, and it warms my heart because it says, "You saved my life, and I cannot thank you enough, Nicole. Bless your heart, Bridget."
Please welcome Doug Zubich, partner in Global Practice Leader, Trade, and Custom Services at KPMG. And also welcome to the stage, Bridget Archbold, a student from Geneva High School, Nicole Say. Both will present Nicole Collins with the Life Saving Rescue Hero Award.
Thank you. Athletic trainers are known for taping ankles, filling water, and handing out Band-Aids. But we're also trained for emergencies, and we can save lives. Get CPR certified. This training is vital, and you never know when you might have to use it. I'm proud to be an athletic trainer.
Hi guys, I'm Bridget, and I'm forever grateful that I was able to turn 18. I've had so many memories, and with someone like Nicole who saved my life, I'm just forever grateful, and I'm happy to be here today. Thank you.
I don't know how Bridget kept it together, we didn't see, but on this side of Nicole, she was
Very emotional.
Yeah.
You put her on the spot there, Joe.
I kind of did. She delivered.
Okay, so the 2023 heroes were simply incredible. I'm so glad we were able to be part of telling their stories of heroism in the community. We hope the stories that we've shared with you this morning have inspired you to consider taking steps to be a hero to others. Maybe it's hosting a blood drive, or becoming a Red Cross volunteer, or learning how to use an AED or perform CPR like Nicole. We invite you to be empowered to take action and to be the help before help arrives. At each place setting that you have there, you have a first aid kit with information on how you can be trained to help in an emergency.
Something that was just said there, Erica, reminded me of what this morning really is all about, and that was for Bridget to say, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. And think back at what we've celebrated this morning. There are so many people in this room, and all, obviously, the 12 heroes we've honored today, who were that person. They were that one person that, were they not there to save 2 people from a frozen pond, they wouldn't be here. So it's been a great morning. I can't wait for next year's Heroes Breakfast already. We want to thank again everyone, because there are so many people who make all of this happen. From the videos and the folks here who are working to put all of the food on and everything else. Behind the scenes, so many people we have to thank, and we appreciate you being here as well.
That's right. We want to remind you that you can also nominate the 2024. We're looking ahead here. Breakfast is already open. Nominations online, redcross.org/hero.
We want to keep the social game going as well, too, so if you've taken any pictures, please post them on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you can, and use the hashtag Red Cross Heroes, because we'd love to share the excitement and the energy and the optimism from today with everyone.
We can't wait to see you next year at the 22nd Heroes Breakfast. Make the most of our heroes' inspiration today and every day.